Welcome to the Holy Mischief Podcast. Here we shine a light on the hidden gems of Cartersville and Bartow County. Helpers, creators, and everyday heroes spreading love and kindness in extraordinary ways. Think of us as Mr. Rogers for adults, sharing stories that spark hope, joy, and a little bit of holy mischief along the way. Pull up a seat, neighbor. It's time to meet the incredible people making a difference in your backyard. Hey friends, welcome back to the Holy Mischief Podcast. We've already had way too much laughter before we started recording, so I know you're going to enjoy this episode. We've got Dawn and Lori here with us today. Dawn, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Well, my name is Dawn Perkins. I have been a resident of Cartersville for about 25 years.
Okay.
About 10 years ago, I decided to get involved with my daughter. She needed some community service hours. So we got involved with the Backpack Buddies program. And so since then, it's just kind of taken over my life in the best way possible. And so now I am the volunteer coordinator for the Backpack Buddies program for the city and county schools.
Yeah, and it's huge. How many meals do you guys do a week?
We pack roughly 500 to 600 bags a week.
But that's just here.
That's just here. Yeah. We have the largest packing site for the city and county. But I think our numbers are about 1,100 right now total.
So these are kids that get free lunch and breakfast during the week.
And
they can have something on
the
weekend.
They need a supplement on the weekend, so they get a bag of food that is supposed to last them from
the weekend,
Friday night to Monday.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And Lori, I met you through Backpack Buddies with Dawn, but tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
My name is Lori Shook, and I work for the Cartersville City School System. I do community outreach, and with that community outreach, I do the Backpack Buddy program and our mentor Canes program, where you can come into our schools and mentor a child once a week for up to an hour, which we do need some of those.
Yeah.
And the Backpack Buddy program, I love being able to help out these kids and give them food on the weekends. And also we do I get to do our fundraising, which is our Dancing with the Stars and our 5K.
Which I'm going to, and I did the 5K, very excited.
And our 5K, and we also have rides by the river that they give back to.
Okay.
We have empty bowls and just all kinds of different community things that our community gets involved in.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I actually got to mentor a student when I was at a previous church in a previous county, and it makes a huge difference. Like I had a senior, and I thought, what difference with a graduating senior am I gonna? And it was a lot more of an impact on me as well as on her than I thought. Like she just had someone that didn't care about her grades, just wanted to come and spend time. It was really impactful.
I think that our mentor program is more as accountability. I say that I'm going to be there once a week to see you. So it's accountability on both of us for you to come to school, because I'm giving up my time and I'm taking you from your time.
Yeah.
So it's accountability.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So I bet through all of these programs, you've seen some stories, you've seen some acts of kindness or generosity that like really would touch someone's heart. And what I like to think about Holy Mischief, especially on this podcast. So this podcast is designed to be like Mr. Rogers for adults. Who are the people in your neighborhood doing things that matter and make a difference? Because there are more than we know. And they're more than we really, I mean, if you turn on the news, it's about what's on the police blotter. It's not about the volunteers that are packing meals every Thursday or mentoring in the schools. So do you have any a story of Holy Mischief that you just kind of touched your heart? It doesn't have to be super big, but it just made an impact on you.
With Backpack Buddies and people giving, and Backpack Buddies, we don't get any money from the city. From the government. We get no grants like that. It's all community raised. So just our different industries and our different church groups and our different civic organizations giving us money and food donations is such a blessing. Yeah. A cool story was 2 years ago when Shaw gave us all that SpaghettiOs. Yes. And they gave us over 1,500 cans. What was it?
Wow. Yeah, it was on. Seems like it might have been 2,500.
Maybe, yeah, because it was in a
lot.
U-Haul.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, boxes and boxes.
Which was lots of fun trying to move those boxes.
Right. Yeah. We were inside the boxes. It was amazing.
Yes, we were trying to push it.
We just stopped.
But that was just like they did a March Madness for us, and it was just so. That was a pretty neat day when all that came.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for Sean. They're there almost every Thursday. If someone is, I mean, regularly I see them.
Well, no, it's
not Shaw.
no.
Maybe I'm
It's
thinking the insurance company.
State Farm.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're good.
Yeah.
They're
Matthew
good.
Scott's office is there just about every week.
Yeah.
Yes. And we have Barnsley Gardens that's been coming.
Okay.
So we have lots of community involvement.
Yeah.
I love to see the companies that get involved
Yeah.
and that do community service projects or that do food drives.
Yeah.
I think it's
one of the best kept secrets. Like we need to get that out there because there's so many people that could come before they go to work.
right.
And it's like, it's a little mission project every single week.
Right.
Which I think is great. Well, so what kind of stories have you experienced on?
Well, I'm also a driver for the city. I take the homeless children that don't have the ability to ride the bus. I take them to school, like to and from school every day. So they are essentially my backpack buddy kids. They don't know that I am backpack buddies. They don't know that that's what I do. So I get to talk to them about their bag, and they get excited. Sometimes they get 2 bags because there was extra. So I get to see what their favorite things are. You know, they open the bag as soon as they get in the car.
That's so cool that like you've been packing for so long and now you get to see kids who are excited about that.
I've never gotten to deliver the bag, so I never get to see everything, but now it's full circle. So I get to see the kids and see, you know, they open up the fruit snacks as soon as they get in the car. And that seems to be one of their favorite things. It's the worst thing for them, but whatever. But yes, they love it. And, you know, it's just to see them happy. It's worth all the work that goes into the program.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times when you do an act of kindness or some sort of mission work, you don't always get to see the fruit of that. You don't get to see like what happens. Like you might get to see some people drop off at the school and they get to see like how the people at the front office react or whatever, but they don't see how much of a difference it makes.
Right.
That's so good. What I love about Cartersville, when I first got here, I met with some people at the elementary school because it's the closest one to us. And they said, we really have 2 schools. We have the schools where the families have, you know, enough money and support and they're always there. And then we have a large group that they're scraping by. They might sofa surf. They may be in a hotel for a few days. There's not that stability. And trying to like the school system, trying to meet the needs of both, I think is a huge challenge. But it's a named problem. Sometimes you'll have that in a community and they don't name it. So it's named, it's addressed, and, you know, we're trying to do all we can, I think, to bridge that gap and make it a little bit, let people know they matter because they do. So what would your challenge be if someone's listening and, you know, they want to not necessarily get involved in an organization, but like they want to do something to make the community better? Like, what would your challenge be? Like some sort of holy mischief challenge.
Well, I just had a challenge last week. We had a family that their apartment burnt down and they lost everything. And so they're back in now, but now that we're trying to find furniture and beds and, you know, kitchen stuff. So I just put something out on Facebook and all of a sudden I had all these people coming.
Yeah.
And I got to witness the family getting the stuff back. And that was the best thing. She said, "Yeah, I don't understand what a blessing you are." And so it just came around full circle, them getting stuff that they didn't need anymore and getting a family that they need.
Yeah.
So just when you think that you don't have anything to offer, you do.
Yeah.
And just the little things that you didn't think was a big deal, it is. And just your time.
Yeah.
Time is such a huge thing.
We don't always need your money. We'll always take your money.
Right.
We don't always need your money. We need your time and just that saying that I have this to give.
Yeah. And I think just being willing to listen.
Yeah.
Like just being, if you listen for ways to help, it'll find you, I think.
It will.
Yeah. John, do you have a challenge for people?
Well, when I'm driving these children around and I'm talking to them and I hear what makes them happy, and then I look at my own children and, I see how rotten my kids are compared to all these other ones. I think that taking a step back and being appreciative of what you have and taking a day and just coming and, just participating in Backpack Buddies for one day.
Yeah.
And just see what goes into this.
Yeah.
See the people, how we all interact and just have the best time. And it doesn't cost anything. Your grocery bags.
Yeah.
Save your grocery bags and donate them to us.
So I think that word's getting out. So
They are.
Because I'm like, anywhere I go, I'm like, hey, save your bags. And so I went to the chiropractor the other day. She goes, do they still do Backpack Buddies at your church? Uh-huh. They still take bags? Uh-huh. She goes into the back room and pulls out like a huge garbage bag filled with bags. She's like, yeah, I've been saving these and driving around in my car with them. Wow. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going right back to the church. I'll put them in they don't even fit into the bin that we collect them in.
Yeah, my office looks like.
And then I went to Rotary a few weeks ago because you came and spoke at Rotary.
Uh-huh.
And it was like months after you came to speak, someone came up to me and were like, hey, these are for Backpack Buddies. And I'm like,
it's amazing.
And I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's those little things I think that make a huge difference. I love it.
That does too, because like sometimes people give us random food too that we don't really put in our Backpack Buddies bags, but I have it in my office and a counselor or a social worker will call and say, I have a family in need.
Uh-huh. Then you have it.
And I can fulfill it. And it's the best thing ever is to be able to give back.
That's cool. It's good to know.
Yes.
It's really good to know.
So,
but I would definitely challenge a lot of businesses in the community.
Yeah.
To take one day a month or one day a quarter.
Yeah.
And volunteer with someone, not necessarily Backpack Buddies. We would love to have them because we always need volunteers.
Yeah.
But get involved in something.
Yeah. Do something.
Because it brings your business together, but also, it helps the community in so many ways.
And this is such a good, close community.
Oh,
and
love it.
Just strengthening those ties, I think, will just make us stronger and like living into who I think we are called to be.
Yes.
So good. Well, do you have any questions for me? This is Stump the Pastor time.
What's your favorite thing about this community? Because I know that you're still new to it.
Yeah, I am new. It does. So it feels more like I felt, so I went to medium to large size school. And it has more of that college campus feel. Like I can walk to downtown from where I'm at, or, even if people drive into downtown, there's always something on the weekend going on down there. And people know each other. Like there's a 2 or 3 degrees of separation between I could make like many connections between like this morning I sat down with someone who works for Live 2540 and she's like, my grandmother has a connection with you. And I was like, your grandmother? And she's like, yeah, I grew up in, or I was born in Jonesboro, lived in Fayette County for a while and came up here. And I was like, did your mom work for Clayton Eye Center? And she's like, yes.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. Yeah. So the main optometrist there, his daughter and I grew up like from first grade on. And now our daughters are in high school at the same time. Wow. And I was like, it is a small world. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. That's so that it has that connected feel and not afraid to do new things, like not so entrenched in tradition that it can't adapt, which a lot of times you come to a community and they're so entrenched in tradition and they feel like they're doing well. So they don't want to do new things. But it seems like we don't have that here.
I love it because we have so many nonprofits in town.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's nothing like, well, this is mine. this is yours.
Yeah,
Let's
the
not.
work
It's a lot of work.
But we all
together.
collaborate together. And that's what's so neat when it all comes together, like doing Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
It's us and the Good Neighbor Shelter.
Yeah.
And because it's full circle.
Yeah.
But all of our things are like that in town, and you don't get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
I've never really lived anywhere else. I mean, besides college.
You don't, though.
But
You really,
you don't
I mean, you get it in some places, but not quite the same way. It's definitely unique.
But so, I mean, there's so many people care, and it's not like, well, I can't believe they're doing that. We're like, we're doing this all together.
A lot of times in a community, it will be about the event, and oh yeah, it raises money. Like for me, the event is a big deal, but the event is a big deal because of what it is raising money for.
Yes.
Which I find really honorable. It's really good. What question do you have for me, Dawn?
Lori kind of stole mine.
Yeah.
But if you could change one thing about Cartersville, what would it be?
Okay. I got a couple things rolling around in my head. One might be transportation. Like I live close to downtown. I can walk to a lot of places, but not everybody can. And I think if there was an easier way for everyone, no matter what socioeconomic status, to get like a shuttle or I don't know, something. Gosh, a trolley would be so fun. I'm in leadership bar this year. One of the groups did an idea for doing a pedestrian bridge over the train tracks.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, good idea. And then I saw it and went, oh, that would actually could make a huge difference. Not just to get over the train, but like aesthetically, it was just very pleasing and it was, it just felt good. And then we've got a piece of land to the side of us that was designated early as like maybe a future larger sanctuary. And there are a lot of young adults in our congregation who were like, we'd really like a community garden. And so I think we're going to have a community garden over here. And I think that, because there's like, I know Heritage Baptist has one,
Right.
But being a little closer to downtown, I mean, you always can have more than one. Right. And I think that would be like a cool thing. That's kind of what's rolling around in my head.
I love it.
Those aren't like the most profound, like solving the hunger issue would be a little more, but I think we're chipping away at that. And I think
doable. I mean, that's so doable.
Yeah. And I think the transportation would help with that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Awesome.
I love that pedestrian bridge idea.
And
the trains are becoming a huge issue.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just would add that little extra touch.
Right.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much for
thanks for having us.
It's fun. We're about to cut, and then we're going to talk about the really interesting things. And if you know us, maybe we'll share those with you. Until then, have an amazing day.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's dose of hope and holy mischief. A big thank you to Trinity United Methodist Church for sponsoring this podcast and supporting stories that uplift our community. Until next time, keep spreading kindness and making a difference. And remember, God loves you, and so do I.